Hey there, friend. So this is obviously not going to be a typical episode. In fact, I had an episode written out for several months, but I had not recorded prior to the election. And I realized that this moment just isn't the right time for that episode, but I know I'm going to add it to a future date. And I'm promising you here, I'm not going to talk about the election much. I'm feeling a lot of emotions, much like you are too, I imagine. And it's not just one contest or one ballot measure that has me feeling deeply the grief, sadness, anger, and hurt that I know so many of us are experiencing right now. It's all of it. It's the scary unknowns just as much as the scary known. It's the shock while also being a little unsurprised, if I'm being honest. I'm having to actively remind myself, I am safe at this moment. I am okay at this moment. Because all I know for sure is this moment. And I'm also reminding myself frequently that I don't have to have any answers to any of the questions that are swirling around in my head. Running simulations in my mind of what we might do if X, Y, or Z happens won't actually help me feel any less weary, unfortunately, even if it does give the illusion of productivity or control. Atever it is that you're feeling right now, I hope you can find a safe time and space to fully feel it, to let it out, to give your emotions the leeway to do their job, because your emotions aren't the enemy. Friend, I know that if you listen to my podcast, one of the reasons you're here is because I choose to take personal finance content and make it soothing to your nervous system. And you're here because I focus on what you can do, even when things are very difficult. And I'm going to keep on doing that for as long as I can. This podcast will be here as a place of solace and respite for you as long as I can keep it going, and I have no plans of stopping anytime soon. My Patreon supporters are a major factor in that. So if you support my work as a paid Patreon member, I want to deeply thank you. There's a poem by Bob Dylan called Last Thoughts on Woody Guthrie, and it's been coming to my mind a lot lately. Dylan wrote it as his hero, folk singer Woody Guthrie, was dying of Huntington's disease. And this poem speaks to how we find hope. That so many times we are looking for it in all the wrong places, or that it feels like hope is hiding or lost forever. I know what that feels like. And I gotta say, over the last decade or so, I've been working really hard to find my hope and hold on tight to it. Because I refuse to let anyone or anything steal my hope again. We're all gonna need some hope right now, and whether your hope is the size of a mountain or the size of a grain of rice, I encourage you to cling tightly to it. Since the beginning of the human race, I believe that it's hope that has made all of it possible, that made us show up day after day in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, that made our ancestors continue pushing and fighting when it seemed fruitless, particularly if we come from a marginalized community. Honestly, hope is all I even have right now in speaking to you, because there's so much I simply don't have the words for, at least in this moment. What I know for certain is that hope dies when we don't take care of ourselves first, as best as we can. So if right now you're numb or stuck in a place of shock, I'm here to remind you, my friend, to get back to basics. take a shower. Go step outside your front door and get some sunshine on your face, even if it's just for 2 minutes. Take your meds, drink some water. Even if you have no appetite, like me, please eat something, and not just coffee, actual food. Get off of social media for a little bit, even if you have to set time limits for yourself. And if you're angry, if you're wondering, what now? I know a lot of folks are telling you to organize, to get to work. And maybe you're saying to yourself, well, what does that even mean? What does that look like? You know, one of my all-time favorite quotes is from Joan Baez. She says, "Action is the antidote to despair." Organizing doesn't have to mean marching in the street or organizing a protest, although it can. But it also means getting yourself on the local library board or PTA or the board of your community's HOA. It means finding your local community garden and learning how to grow plants alongside getting to know your neighbors. It can look like helping your neighbor with a disability get to their doctor's appointment next week. It means finding something, anything, you can volunteer for. Get in a radical book club, become a pen pal, sign up for Post Crossing. If you're a patron of mine, drop into the Discord and let's talk to each other. Let's support each other. But most importantly, support the people that are already doing the work. If you're not sure who those people are, ask a friend. Folks have been out here doing mutual aid for ages, and they are begging you to get involved. And they're good people. My friend, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and you don't have to do any of it alone. And I promise you also don't have to do it all. But we need whatever it is you can do. I realize, and I'm starting to see that people are sharing that Mr. Rogers quote about looking for the helpers. But you know, my sweet friend, Mr. Rogers was speaking to us as children then. And we're grown-ups now. It's our turn to be the helpers. And I know you're tired. I am so tired too. So for now, I'm resting. I'm taking care of myself as best as I can. I'm letting the tears flow when they want to. And I'm taking time to consider how I'm going to be of service to my community and to my people in the next year, while also building my own capacity. Plus, I'm getting my very tired behind out into nature and remembering that I am part of the universe. And you are too. As always, I'm so proud of you. I'll talk to you soon.